another segment of State of Hockey, so why not visit with the State of the University of Arizona Wildcat program and head coach Chad Berman. Chad, Mr. Everything down here for the Wildcat program, but welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the season. Let's kind of recap where things went for you for most of the year, and then we'll talk about where you finished and go from there.
I think we kind of aligned things where we need to get on track. I think we talked a few years back when we first started talking about kind of establishing that foundation to build from for your program, and it took a while to get there, and I think we've established that foundation, and now we're starting to build on something really special here. So, excited obviously to get back in the national tournament, to get another victory while we were there, and at the same time, I think there's a lot of value in facing and coming up short against the number one team in the country. It shows you, what we got to do to get there.
Let's back up from the national tournament. First of all, like you said, it's nice to get back there and to get a win, but tell people how difficult it is to win at that national tournament when it's a one and done.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult. It's such a fun tournament to be a part of. It's an honor to be a part of it. But the reason it's so important that a team that's as young as ours experience that is they get to experience firsthand how the littlest details can cost you a game or can win you a game, and instead of coach just pounding the whiteboard about it, it's a real tangible experience, and I think it's something we're going to take moving forward for sure.
So when you're used to playing a couple games at a time on a weekend, and all of a sudden you go into the single elimination type thing, what's the mindset?
Yeah, I mean, you're just fighting. You try not to think too big, right? It's too easy to focus on win the game, win the round, next round. It's just about win your shift, and that's, again, we're building off the things we've been preaching all year. So win your shift, win your battle. If you do enough little things, those things are going to add up, and you're going to have success. And I thought we were able to do that, and some of our really young guys were able to step up and show what they could do in a key moments like that. So. It's only good things happen from experience in that tournament. It's incredibly difficult to win that thing. I've gone all the way to the championship game and come up short. Intend to change that for sure in this program as soon as we can. But there's no better way to prove your point to your teammates, and what motivation do they have now over the summer to prepare and get ready. That
was my next question. Now we're sitting in your weight room here, and I know the guys just had a workout in the weight room again, but burning taste in their mouth of we got to get this?
Yeah, I think we're hungry. We want more. I think the days of saying we got in are no longer something that are the minimum standard for us. I don't think that's enough for us. I think the days of being ranked 16, 17 is in the past for us. It's time to make that push. I think we're at a point in our program where we can start talking about chasing conference championships, and if you're doing that, you're probably in the top 10 picture, and looking at different rankings, and certainly you don't want to run into Minot State or the number one team in the country that early in a tournament. You'd like to have somebody knock them off, like in Illinois or something like that, as it happened, and again, nothing but valuable experience for all our guys.
So let's talk a little bit about the hockey in the Desert Southwest. It's been 3 years now since you and I talked for the first time, and what have you seen growth-wise in the ACHA particularly?
It's incredible. I mean, the teams that got in, the 16, 17, there's teams that didn't get in the past would have been pretty solid teams in this tournament. So it's tough to get in. It's tough to have success when you get there. I'm certainly proud that we were able to get another win while we were there with a big 4-1 win over Missouri State. It just keeps getting deeper. The talent keeps getting better. The top 10 teams keep getting better. I mean, I was very impressed with what Minot State threw at us as far as probably the best 5-on-5 forecheck I've seen in this league. Probably the best power play I've seen in this league. Unfortunately, we just didn't stay out of the box, and they popped 4 power play goals on us. So if we could have stayed even, if we could have played them 5-on-5, I think we had a shot to shock the tournament there. And unfortunately, instead it's a learning curve, and something we'll take moving forward.
Let's talk a little bit about your roster and the guys that performed really well for you. You guys brought in a lot of talent coming in, and for the most part, I think they performed pretty well for you, didn't they?
Yeah, we kind of reshuffled the deck again here this year, and obviously Anthony Cusinelli, I think his season speaks for itself. The young core, when you look at the young core pieces of our program, I think any program would love to have the core cornerstone pieces that we have when you have a high-end goal scorer like Cusinelli. Right. I think we have one of the best two-way centers in the conference in Chris Westland, and I think Anthony Shuro, a kid in net who's going to be a star, and a kid who didn't get a lot of action this year, but everyone in our room knows how good Nolan Bivelsic is going to be as another goaltender who's going to push there. You talk about, those corner pieces. Everybody would love to have those pieces. And then you got Plumoff, you got Larson, kids who really contribute at a high end. Manny Rowe, we think is going to take another step here next year. Add the right pieces, and we think we're off to take that next step as a program.
Talk a little bit about the guys that you might have coming in. Do you have anybody that you can nail down as to who's coming in for you?
Nobody, no official commitments yet.
Right.
Can't wait to tell you about a few once we do, so I don't want to jinx it, but I think we got a couple that are going to send some shockwaves through the conference for sure. And it's not just anybody, it's not just talent, it's the right pieces, the right fit, the right work ethic, the right mentality, and if they're talented, too, by all means, and we've narrowed down a few, so working the phones, working the film, and hope to announce some things here really soon after a couple of visits.
Well, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back and we'll talk a little bit about the future, and we'll talk a little bit about Arizona hockey as far as on the ice stuff. All right, we're back with another segment with the head coach from the University of Arizona Wildcats, Chad Berman. Chad, we talked a little bit, about the growth of hockey, but talk about it particularly here in Tucson. Your fan support was very well again, as always. You guys did some different things media-wise and were able to create a buzz, I thought, with that all season long. And you had a little more ice maybe this year than normal?
Yes and no. We certainly have the challenges with the gem show and stuff like that, but I think a lot of the media type stuff that we're doing is going to take some time before you can actually see the results. I think that's going to, I think we're going to only expand our audience here next year. We have a great fan base here at the University of Arizona. How many people have, the Radmans, they come and they fly on the road to come to our games. How many people are saying that in the ACHA? We're incredibly lucky with 30-year season ticket holders. And as we start building this thing and continue to build this thing, I think, I think that's only going to continue to grow. Obviously we had the goalie fight at the end of the year that made it on TSN and, Barstool and all that stuff, and that's good for them. Maybe not so much for what we're working on, but
right.
We'll take the attention, I guess. But I think everything's kind of coming together here. We're building things, and hopefully we can continue to grow.
And if we recap your season, we look back, and I know the first thing probably on your list is the fact that the Cactus Cup is down here in Tucson right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
Let's talk.
First time in school history, we took home the Cactus Cup, built a nice trophy case. Hopefully it stays here a long time. That's always going to be goal number one in this program. Next year starts fresh at 0-0, and so I'm sure they're looking to reload, and certainly we're looking to add on to what we've already got, and we're excited about that opportunity. It's always fun to play Arizona State. It's always fun to take part in that rivalry. I think sometimes it gets a bit into the shenanigans of that we can control on our end, that we can stay more focused on and focus on what matters. But tough to compare that rivalry with anyone else in the country. And I've been around this league now for about 10 years. I've been a part of the RMU Illinois, RMU Ohio games. Those are great, but I don't think anything quite compares to this rivalry. It's a special thing.
And then this year, one of the things that I really enjoyed was the opportunity to come down here for the Kelly Walker. And for people that don't know Kelly or didn't know Kelly, what a phenomenal. Every time I look at his jersey that I've got now hanging in my office, I think of how did somebody score that many points in an ACHA season? Yeah,
his numbers are off the chart. It was incredible. It was a really special night for us to retire his jersey. It was like a perfect storm. We retired his jersey. All the alumni are in town. We win the Cactus Cup. They come on the ice. Our team picture has the alumni in the picture. I can't imagine a more special night. Obviously, then we got to the players weren't real happy because they wanted to take the trophy that night, and I went out to the bars with the alumni, and we took advantage of that opportunity. So it was a really special night. But to talk about Kelly Walker, the numbers he put up, the leadership he provided, he's a great guy. We keep in touch. We're talking, every couple of weeks here or so. He thinks he's a bubble hockey champion. I'm gonna take a shot at that title. So it's really special. I think what it really speaks volumes to is the big family. Our credo here is once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat, and to see the engagement of our alumni with the new guys. And there was a second there where I got to kind of sit back and really feel that. When the video was going on for Kelly Walker that we had going on for his retirement, I took a peek over and look at our current players, kind of all looking up, gazing at that. They understand what that means, and what a cool thing to bring two generations together. And obviously, we get tremendous support from from Goltzy, who helped was a big part of this program. Obviously, Shane Fowles, our goalie coach, our alumni president, our Mr. Everything. I'm probably connecting up with him tonight here, and we're going to catch up. So, we're very fortunate. That to me only adds motivation. I'm not afraid to say we're chasing a national championship here, and when we get that done, it's going to be such a celebration for this city, this community, our alumni, and I can't wait to share it with all these people.
Talk a little bit about a guy like Cusinelli and the numbers that you see him put up this year. And I know he was playing the second half of the season pretty much like you said on one leg, but when you compare his numbers to what something like Kelly did, is that ever feasible again? Is that number ever going to be touched?
Yeah, I just think the talent and depth and the quality of the goaltenders and athletes is so different now. I think that's a pretty untouchable number. I would, if you're on scale, I think what Cusinelli did is pretty on par to the same kind of thing. No disrespect either way. Boy, if he does that for 4 years, I think we'll be hanging his banner up in those rafters as well. A very impressive year. Again, he sprained an ankle right after Christmas break, and to put up those numbers really still, and at the time he was leading the entire country in goals, and then to still put up those numbers and contribute. And the way he fought through that injury, I learned a lot about the heart and what that kid's made out of. But it's also, it's been a nice motivator for me to talk to him about, you're going to be targeted. That's how it's going to go when you're a top guy. So, we're going to put some muscle on him this summer and prepare him to go the long run here. And he's a kid who I think's only going to have better seasons than that moving forward, especially if we add more talent around him. And that's a kid I expect fully to be in the World University Games next season, representing our country, and what an honor that's going to be, and what an experience for him.
Yeah, for sure. Another kid that, not a kid anymore, but your assistant, your volunteer assistant that all of a sudden picks up and leaves you for a head coaching job. You got to be awful proud of that.
Yeah, he'll always be a kid to me. So, that's.
And we're talking about John Hogan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, John Hogan. So excited for him. He got the head coaching job there at Marysville, 5 minutes from his home. He gets to get the full package experience. He's starting up a brand new job. We literally talk once, twice a day. He's got to recruit a full roster. He's getting the full experience here. He's doing a great job. That program's going to take off for sure. They've got a lot of exciting things going on. We're excited for him. I'm excited he could get the experience here and get a year of coaching under his belt. And I'm certainly, I even get to enjoy that he gets a couple parent phone calls now, so I get to enjoy the sit back and listen, put my feet up, and enjoy that end of it. Welcome to it. So to see him evolve as a player, a coach, and now to go on and coach and build his own program, really excited for him. Looking forward to, if I could get season tickets and chirp him behind the bench, I would. But that whole family, it's been incredibly impactful. Toppy had a great career or season here, obviously a great career as a hockey player, and now on the golf team, and definitely one of my favorite families ever been around. So,
I think back to when he told me that when he was talking about coming out to play hockey your first year here, he said he came here to do stats. I'm thinking, here's a guy that was doing stats for you 3 years ago, has now got a head coaching job with Dylan. Talks a little bit about not only his intelligent level, his hockey intelligence, but just his work ethic, right?
Yeah, definitely. It is crazy. Yeah, I met him because he was missing hockey. He was on campus. He didn't think. I'll let him explain that other part. But we were really glad that he got involved. And then as he got involved, he started talking about, hey, I got this twin brother. Maybe we should play hockey. And then there are two of our top scorers. Not to mention great kids, great locker room guys. This is when we were still trying to build that culture. We wanted the right people in our room, and to be honest, they were a couple of the people that really accelerated that. Ryan Olson certainly deserves credit for that too.
Right.
Our 3-year captain and who just graduated here. And so the impact he made on the program is incredible. So anything I could do to help him, I was all for it. And then he goes from playing to I'd like to get into coaching. I'm like, you sure? I'm like,
right.
You better really want to do that. And sure enough, he did. Playing and coaching are just two different worlds. And he dialed in and put the work in. And it was fun to watch his coaching develop after watching his playing develop. And just every little he's so eager to learn. He's so eager to improve on everything he can. It's fun to work with people like that. It's really an honor to work with people like that. To watch him grow has been a really special experience for myself. And I was fortunate to learn under one of the best in the ACHA in Chico, and so if I could take any of that and give back to John, then I feel very grateful for that opportunity, and hopefully he does the same. And that's kind of how the hockey community works. We all are trying to build this game in separate ways, and I have no doubt he's going to build a really impactful program, and hopefully we're scheduling him one day, and maybe we can throw a water bottle at him or something.
So obvious question now is, how are you going to replace him?
Don't know yet. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. We're having some programs restructuring meetings here coming up at the beginning of May. Certainly how we want to get the coaching staff restructured is one thing, but it's definitely on the radar. We're looking at different opportunities to expand our program, marketing-wise, sponsorship-wise. It's time we take that next step as a winning team, and you start putting all these little pieces together, kind of like what we talked about in the national tournament. You focus one shift at a time, one battle at a time.
Right.
Start doing these little things, and we think we're building towards what could be, one of the most elite programs in the entire country.
That was my next question, and we'll kind of wrap it up with that. You can tell me, where do you think the future of this program is? If somebody gave you a crystal ball and you could look 3 to 5 years down the road, where do you think the University of Arizona hockey team is going to be at?
Yeah, it's time. It's time we take home a conference championship. That's the next step for us. That's step number one. Step number one is always going to be the Cactus Cup.
Right.
So we got to do that. Take care of business with that again. Following that up with, it's time we go hunt down and take care of a conference championship. I'm not saying that lightly. It takes a lot of consistency. It takes a lot of work. It takes a group that's got to want to pull towards one direction. And that's what we're fighting for, and I'll be damned if we don't win a national championship here. A lot of people are afraid to say stuff like that. I don't mind setting my goals high and figuring out how to get there. I've watched it happen. I've been on the visiting bench. I just can't get that void out of my heart. And now that I've been a part of this community, this alumni, this fan base, we got to find a way to do that for these people. They deserve that, and so we're going to work every single day to see what we can do to make that happen. We're in the gym now.
Right.
I bet not most teams are doing that. We're in the gym 3 days a week right now, and then we're 2 days of ice on top of that. And our guys come to the rink, come to the weight room, come to the locker room, wanting to put that work in, because we all want to accomplish these things. We understand how tough that is, and so nothing but big things in the future for us.
Chad, I always appreciate your time, and good luck this summer with the recruits. Good luck building up the program that you already have, the guys that you already have, and we'll look forward to this fall when you're back on the ice and competing for a national title here in the University of Arizona.
Thanks so much.